Hey everyone. I wanted to take a moment to talk about what's going on in today's society. So, everybody knows what's going on right now. We are going through a pandemic. We're issued, in my state at least, to stay inside until June 10th and try to make sure that we only go grocery shopping once a week. We all know that it affects elderly people, but what a lot of people don't know is that it also affects people who are immunosuppressed, meaning a suppressed immune system. I'm one of those people. I have something called dysautonomia, and it's an issue within my autonomic nervous system, which controls my heart rate, my blood flow, my brain neurons, everything like that. And so it's pretty scary to think, well, what if I get it? Well, what if this? Well, what if that? It also is very hard because I suffer from anxiety and depression. And so I'm here to try to tell all of you that this is a pretty serious deal. My little girl. Okay. Anyways, this is a pretty serious thing. I'm able to at least go into my backyard, like you saw in my previous video. So I'm able to go outside in my backyard because there's, I have way more than 6 feet between me and other people. It's really hard being somebody with anxiety, depression, an adrenaline issue with my adrenal gland. The feeling that most people get coming off a roller coaster, that adrenaline, is what I get when I hear a knock at the door. And if you see me hyperventilating or breathing heavily, it's because I just stood up after sitting down. Because I have orthostatic hypotension. What that means is that when I am sitting down for a long time, my heart rate can get low to 80, and then when I stand up, it skyrockets. So what that means for me is that my heart is in overdrive. I have 1/3 the amount of blood than an average person does. So my heart is constantly pumping more blood into my system, which leaves me with a resting heart rate of 115. So I'm here to ask all of you guys to please take this seriously. There are many, many people in this world that aren't taking it seriously, and they're having parties, and they're, the Corona parties where they're drinking Corona. And so if you hear any noise, my neighbors in the back are doing some work on their house. I've taken the necessary precautions to try to be safe. I am not working currently. I work in retail, and the store that I work for is shut down until further notice. I am washing my hands religiously. I am making sure that if I go to the store, I wear gloves and a face mask if I can. And I am just trying to take all those steps. So I'm asking of you guys to please stay inside, because you could hurt somebody like me. Or if you do go outside, to take the necessary steps. If you don't have a face mask or gloves and you go up to the keypad at a store, put hand sanitizer on before you put in your PIN or something, or use the keypad. Like I said in my last video, there was this guy in front of me at the store that coughed into his hand and then just used the keypad. He wasn't wearing gloves, he wasn't wearing a face mask, he just straight coughed into his hand and then used the keypad. So it took a couple minutes for the cashier to disinfect everything. every time I go to the store, there's a bunch of face masks and gloves just all over the floor. And I had a face mask and gloves, and I was talking to the cashier, who asked me to dispose of them properly, and I said I will. I absolutely do. And she said that all the face masks and stuff that were in the front entranceway and all over the cart returns and all over the parking lot were from that day. That every day after closing, they go out and they clean everything up because people aren't disposing of them properly. Being an immunocompressed person right now is terrifying. It's just straight up terrifying. I have been diagnosed, I was diagnosed with dysautonomia about 3 years ago, but I had it for about 6 years now. It's something that could possibly go away, but because of my blood levels, it's probably going to be with me the rest of my life. And it's chronic. It causes me pain. It causes me fainting spells. It causes a bunch of issues where most people would seem like, well, whatever. And I look healthy. So, I mean, there was a couple days a few years ago where I needed a wheelchair, but I didn't have one. And the reason why I needed a wheelchair was because every single time I stood up, I passed out, I fainted, and my heart rate is accelerated so high. The highest my heart rate has ever been is 212 beats. And that was for about 20 so minutes. I honestly thought that day I was going to die. I'm happy that I'm alive right now. But I am so scared. So scared that even if I take the necessary precautions to keep me and others safe, there may be somebody else at my store that doesn't do that. Like the guy that coughed into his hand. What if the cashier didn't clean off the system? Could I have gotten sick? It's really scary for people like me right now. It's scary for everybody. Everybody. If you are scared, you have the complete right to be. This is something that is affecting all of us. You're not alone. You're definitely not alone. But you have to take the necessary precautions to keep you and others safe. If you know somebody that has diabetes, they're immunosuppressed. If you know somebody that has asthma, they're immunosuppressed. If you had issues as a kid with your lungs or your kidneys or liver or anything, you're immunosuppressed. And there's a lot that we can't do. But there's some things that we can, like stay at home and wash our hands and donate money if you can. Nobody should be going in debt for this. This is something that none of us could control. It's something that we don't know when it's going to be over. So being an immunocompressed person right now is scary. Because we don't know if we're safe. I don't know that if I order food, that when I grab the bag from the delivery person, that was the bad choice. I don't know if I'm gonna survive if I get it. I don't know. What I do know is that everybody I know personally is taking the necessary precautions to keep me and my friends and others safe. There are more people getting sick than there are medicines or machines to help them. So doctors and nurses and other healthcare workers are stuck in this conundrum where, well, who gets it? And it's terrifying to think, as a person who's immunosuppressed, like, what if it's me? What if it's between me and another person my age that's healthy, that doesn't have my issues? Will they get it? Will they get... Sorry, there was a bug. Will they get the meds that I need? It's terrifying. This is a really hard time for everybody. This is a historical moment in life. This is a new plague. But that being said, there's a lot of state-issued, like, stay-at-home orders. Like my state, we're staying home till June 10th. June 10th. Schools are just out. My state isn't doing these Zoom classes and stuff. No, they're just out. We're out for summer. No, I graduated, but like my cousins that live here, they're out for summer. It's pretty difficult to think about it when you know somebody that has it. Reason why I'm so like protective of this whole thing is because my mother's uncle is in a medically induced coma because of this virus. That he has it. No one can visit him. I can't even step into a hospital unless absolutely necessary. I've had to cancel doctor's appointments. It's hard for everybody. So just stay inside, wash your hands, and please, please take this seriously and stay safe. Okay. Bye-bye.